Genesis chapter 48 introduction. So what is this chapter about? In the beginning of the chapter, Joseph is informed that his father is sick, right? In other words, well, he's near death. And it's time for the final goodbyes. So the next 3 chapters actually is going to be about these final goodbyes of Jacob. In this chapter, it starts off with the blessings on Joseph's 2 sons. The next chapter on his other sons, and in the last chapter his death and his burial. Right. So Joseph hears that his father is sick. He brings his sons Manasseh and Ephraim, that was born to him while his father was still up there in the land of Canaan. And he brought him there to be blessed. So what Jacob then did was to do something different by taking them as his own sons. They're not Joseph's sons anymore, they're now his sons, like Reuben and Simeon, as he said in the text. And so he's going to treat them. Each of them will get the same amount of land ultimately when they enter the tribe. Okay, so this is as well, again, for the people on their way to the promised land in the desert, an explanation of why Ephraim and Manasseh is getting, because of Joseph, therefore they are, and this is what Jacob, Israel, in other words, their great-great-grandfather told them to do, and he did this, so therefore they need to accept it. They can't say, oh no, Ephraim and Manasseh, they're Joseph's sons, they just need to get one piece of land, one area, like the rest of us. Okay, and then ultimately the blessing. Now the interesting thing is Joseph did it so that although Jacob couldn't see very well, but Joseph did it so that Jacob will bless the eldest and then the youngest. But what did Jacob do? He crossed his hands. So then he blessed the youngest first instead of the oldest. And Joseph was not very happy with that. But Jacob said, I know what I'm doing. Like he ultimately, by deceiving his father, the youngest got the blessing. In this case as well, but not deceiving his choice, right? There's a big difference therefore between that. But again, the youngest. So it's not always seemingly the best to be the oldest, but the youngest, very often, more often than not. That's not that important in general. Okay, in most cultures, there are exceptions, I've mentioned that. So the blessing then happened, the youngest gets the blessing, the oldest not, etc. And Joseph not happy. And yeah, that is basically what this chapter is all about.